Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, yes, as you've seen, Senator Emmanuel Bwacha joins us next. He is the APC governorship candidate for Taraba State. Good morning, and thank you for coming on today.
Morning, Chamberlain.
Well. It's been a ride. It still is for you because it's not over yet. Yeah. But yes, you have won a case in the courts concerning your candidature. But you still have a number of cases. So how are you handling this now? Because clearly it's not yet uhuru for you.
Yes, I am very conversant with that. From the beginning, I had committed this project to the hands of God, that the Lord would take the lead while I follow, because He knows the way to the wilderness. Cases in court, as a law-abiding citizen, I am patiently waiting that I will follow as it progresses. And I'm trusting God who will succeed, because we are on the path of truth.
But you have Chief David Sabokente, who says he's going to study that judgment.
Yes.
And before he takes his next decision, as last week, we don't know if he has now. So you must be concerned about that, are you?
Well, anybody in court must be concerned, because you are not the judge. But the belief, the faith I have is that since God is the ultimate judge, He will control the heart of men that are handling the case to do the will of God. That is why I'm not concerned.
Why do you have so many cases against you, though? Are you, people don't want you to get to those places that much?
Well, you know, there is a popular adage in my community that a mango that is ripe suffers the most attack, because everybody wants to get the mango back to the ground for consumption. So I'm not surprised because of the potentials they see in me, you know, to do the job. And of course, remember, I've said time without number that most of these people that are at me are working with the opposition. I have said this time without number.
Working with the opposition?
With the opposition, with the PDP in the state.
Why? How do you say that?
From the beginning, we set out as a party that we are contending for a position, and one person emerged. We explore all the available avenues to see that everybody is carried along. But somehow, along the line, we got to understand that the opposition were interested in what was happening in our party. And that is why we've not been able to reach a resolution up till now. So, but we are on it, and we are trusting God that we'll be able to agree on what to do for.
Can you tell us, you know, what precisely the appeal court ruled in favor of? Because what has been in contention has been the primaries.
Yes.
We also see that, you know, a colleague of yours in the current chamber, you know, also contested against you.
Yes.
And also holds that, you know, genuine primaries did not hold where you were elected. So yes. Precisely what did the appeal court find in your favor that has now, you know, reinstated you as the candidate of the APC?
Well, primary election, as is known, is an intra-party affair of a political party. The party is saddled with the responsibility of conducting this primary election, which it did. And another statutory body that has the responsibility of supervising the primary election is the INEC. Both were involved in this. And recall, as let me put it clearly, that the number of those who were contesting for this position were up to 7. We were about 7 of us. So it's quite a large number. So after the conduct of the primaries, when I emerged, remember also that I joined the APC not long ago. This was from the wisdom of the party to ensure that they win in Taraba State, which has been a PDP state from the beginning. So when I emerged, I joined the party. The party in its wisdom thought I was going to be the right person to win these primaries. And the people at home knew this. They rallied around me. This didn't go down well with those that are contesting against me in the party, that I met in the party. Naturally, they look at me as a stranger. Actually, that is what has prolonged this dispute or this litigation. But the quite all of them, I will say, all of them know that we will win this election if we put our acts together. But it is how to agree that let us work together is the problem now. I am a stranger. You are coming to this party new. So we've been here for some time now, so we will not allow you to lead. This is just the problem. As for winning the election, certainly by the grace of God, we'll win if we agree to work together eventually. Larger percentage of them are keen into the common cause, except one or two that are foot dragging in court. Quite a number of them that were at variance with what I was doing have now, key into what we are doing.
So what are those ones for dragging, like, Senator Yusuf and the likes? Didn't you have any conversation with them?
I have reached out to them. I met Senator Yusuf separately. I met David. We had meetings on a number of occasions with witnesses to mediate. But, initially we thought it was something within the realms of speculation. But we got to know that they were being encouraged by people who don't want the party to form government in Taraba State. But like I said, we have no reason to believe that it's an iron cast position, because eventually they will have to
but why
join
is it you? Why not them? Because if they say you came new, we've been here, isn't the right thing to join the queue? Why did they promise you from the center that yes, you will be the man that will...
No, it's the people there. If you come, the party choose that they will do a new thing. If you've been there and you are doing the same thing consistently and you have not succeeded, you have not won. You've not been able to record any, as people will say, a motion without movement or whatever they say. So if you've been there doing the same thing and have not won, the party needs to do something new. Essentially, that is what informed the decision by the party members in the state to rally around me. Having been there for long and having been in the PDP, knowing that the nooks and crannies in the state, that I was, by their calculation, the right person to do the job.
But when you said that they are working with the opposition, you moved from you defected from the PDP to the APC.
Yes.
So naturally, the PDP will be angry that, look, you want this seat on our platform.
Yeah.
So why would you then go to another party? If you were so popular, as you said, and go to the APC, win election as senator from the APC, then we'll be okay with that.
That is, it's about the same thing I'm trying to do, except a different position.
No, but you didn't resign as a member of the Senate under the PDP. You moved from the PDP as a senator, continuing as a senator in the APC.
The law allows it if there are divisions.
So why are they
if there are disagreements? I explained the disagreement I had with the PDP then. The party was factionalized, along my followers and the followers of the governor. And I said it in this studio before, that it is this division that informed my movement to the APC.
Well, our colleagues in Lagos, I've got questions for you as well.
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. Well, quite lots of issues to raise on this one, and I'd like you to respond to this one about the primaries, because in May it was reported that you were declared winner at an airport by the election committee, which then jetted out. And some said that's rather unusual, for a primary to be declared at the airport. So what exactly played out with that one? Because it looks like this is a major bone of contention. Before we then move to other issues regarding the court's decision.
Well, you recall I gave this explanation here in the studio. When we went to Jalingo for the primary election, we got information that, because it's a PDP government that is in place in Taraba State, we got information that the government was not interested the APC holds its primary election. So what we did was to ensure that we go ahead of them. And they mobilized talks to scuttle the election. So when the party sent officials to the local government, the election was going on. Within us, they had people that were reporting to them. I've said again, time without number, that we have issues that we need to resolve within ourselves issues of people from within. You know, there's nothing as dangerous as having an enemy from within. So when we knew this, we had to work harder to ensure that the primaries was conducted, because the idea was to ensure that the primary was not conducted at all. So when they went and the results were filtering in from the various local government, from the 168 council wards of the state, they mobilized talks and went for the primary officials who went to conduct the primaries, held them hostage after they had given note that the primaries be conducted, and had to force them to make public statement that they were not giving, they had not granted approval for the primaries to commence. So this is where we had the issues. And those who watched the chairman of the panel spoke on video knew that this is somebody who is under duress. He was under tension. He confessed it by himself. He said, as you can see, I am not safe because one of us had been shot. So when he left, he relocated, collected the result. They were still hunting for him, and he sent to media men, because the law gives him the power to announce the result, at whether in Abuja or Jalingo, at his discretion. So he called media men, announced the result, and left for fear of his life that he was going to be lynched. This is actually what played out.
And just to put that out there, because it's rather unusual, as a lot of people have said, but I mean, hearing your side now, the major issues for some other people is the court cases. Just 2 weeks ago, about 14 days or 15 days thereabout, the Federal High Court in Abuja, which was presided over by Justice Bwacha, actually invalidated the primary that produced you. So while, I mean, the Taraba judgment may be out of the way, I mean, pending the decision of those who went to court, this particular one, which was instituted by Yusuf, is still there. And court was said to have ordered fresh primaries to be conducted in 14 days. That's 2 weeks. So it's 2 weeks now. I wonder for you, from interpretation, seeing that that's your background as well, is this still a major hurdle for you, seeing that the court ordered that the primary be conducted at about this time?
No, we believe strongly that...
Please go ahead.
We believe strongly that the judgment in Jalingo was full of errors. That was why we appealed that judgment. And the one in Abuja followed. If you watch the concluding part of the judgment in Abuja, it said, I agree with my colleague in Jalingo. They are the same court of, coordinate jurisdiction. So we are not bothered because they were saying the same thing. And actually, the judge in Abuja appears to have been following what was happening in Jalingo. So since they are judgment of same court, we believe we have an edge, because this is the appeal court now speaking. We have filed appeal in respect of the matter in Abuja, and we believe the same course of justice the Lord will grant to us. So we are not perturbed at all.
You're saying you will not participate in any primaries, even if it was conducted today or tomorrow by the order of that court in Abuja?
We appeal the judgment. If the appeal court had ruled that we are going to conduct primary election, a new primary election, so be it. I have said time without number that we are not afraid of elections. By the grace of God, if that election is conducted 10 times, we are going to win. But we have to let the world know that primaries were conducted. That is why we appeal against that judgment. Primaries was conducted by the party, and INEC supervised this primary election, and results were collected all over the 168 wards and announced by the panel. So if the lower court say we should go and do another election, we had to test the law to find out whether actually the process that took place was a valid process or not. We went on appeal, and by the grace of God, the appeal succeeded.
What you appealed,
so we are
Senator,
home and dry.
Senator, the one appealed is the one in Jalingo. I'm referring to the one by Justice Bwacha in Abuja, which is an all too different case entirely.
They are the same matter.
It was instituted by someone else.
They are the same matter. Both judgments are saying that let us go and do primaries.
No, but they are instituted separately by different people,
primaries was
different
conducted,
courts.
And the appeal court affirmed my candidature as a candidate of the party.
No, the point I'm trying to make is there are different courts, different issues instituted by different individuals, presided over by different judges, Justice Obiora Egwatu in Abuja and a different judge in Jalingo. So my question to you particularly is, are you saying that nullifies the order that was given by the Abuja court, which I imagine you said you've also appealed as well?
No. Yes, when you say there's different issues, you are wrong. There are same issues decided on by different court of the same jurisdiction. Are you following? Different judges, different court, but same issues. And the same issue that we appeal against that was decided by the appeal court in Yola, that of Taraba and Adamawa. And in my case, two separate personalities file matters in Jalingo and in Abuja. The one in Abuja, of course, by court process, we will appeal against it. But remember, the work has been made easy because the appeal court had taken position on the same matter. There's no difference. It was challenging the validity of the process, which the appeal court had affirmed.
The point that is being made, Senator, is whether or not you have a second appeal to the second judgment of the High Court. Are you saying? I think the question Kade is simply asking is.
Sure.
Are you saying,
we have to.
Okay.
It's a court.
Okay. Yeah. So the second, you have a second appeal already in court. Is that what you're saying, Senator?
We have second appeal.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you, I told you that the concluding judgment in the matter in Abuja did say, I concur with the judgment of my colleague from Jalingo. So we draw the attention of the appeal to the judgment of the appeal court in Yola in same circumstance. This is where we are flowing from. So it does not mean we are not going to appeal against it because there's an appeal court judgment. No, it's a court process that we'll have to abide with.
So does that mean that the appeal, whatever other judgment comes from the other appeal court is nullified by this judgment that you are celebrating?
The judgment of a court of same jurisdiction cannot nullify another judgment. The judgment of a federal high court, for example, if the federal high court in Abuja had nullified the judgment of, had ruled against the judgment of the case in Jalingo, it wouldn't have mattered because they are of the same jurisdiction. They are of the same status until you appeal to a higher court.
But Senator...
So another appeal court cannot nullify the judgment of an appeal court.
Okay.
It doesn't follow.
All right.
Remember that such uncommon happenings don't take place in the appeal court. They could be traced to maybe some of these lower courts. They are very common there. But once you get to the appeal court, there, a lot of, decency is observed.
In your opinion, or to the best of your knowledge, what is the body language of INEC about this judgment, or even the previous one, or the one that is still not decided?
INEC is the same INEC that supervised the election, participated in the court process, submitted papers, confirmed that elections were held because INEC was part of the process. It supervised the election. So what opinion do I need to hold against that is contrary to this? I don't need to hold another contrary opinion because INEC was part of the court process throughout. So, and I don't see them changing position because they had spoken. Their position is clear.
I think this is particularly about you participating in the election, whether or not INEC would have to, recognize you as a candidate based on this appeal court judgment, or refer to the High Court's, the Federal High Court's judgment in Abuja, which says, well, a fresh primary should be conducted in about this time. So that's the question. Are you clear to run in that election as of today based off those judgments or not?
That is a question for even a law student can answer that. Even a layman, you that you are not a lawyer, you should be able to know when an appeal court issues a judgment like that, it has to be obeyed by INEC. You should know. You don't need a second party to tell you this.
So you're saying that INEC
Senator,
won't...
there's a school of thought which holds that the division under Section 68 of the Constitution that can warrant to you moving from one party to the other is when it has to do with division at the national level, not at the state level where you have some factionalization, and that your case may not stand in the face of the law.
We have a case in respect of that. There is a judgment which had asked, the judgment in respect of my defection, which I have appealed against. Those are one of the series of court cases you are referring to. The judgment was given to the extent that I need to vacate my seat as a senator. It has nothing to do with my primary election in the APC. Now I appeal against it because I was hinging my argument or basis of appeal on the fact that there was division. Whether it has to be on the national or the state or within the party that is divided against itself is for the court to determine.
What I'm now wondering is a problem which you yourself have now, what I say you see very much in front of you.
Yes.
I don't want to say discovered because that's not the right word to use.
Yes.
But, the fact that within the APC, there's plenty of resistance.
Yes.
And you're very much aware of that. The question...
Within the contestant, not within the APC. The APC as a party in the state. They are members of the APC, but now wearing two caps. They are neither, yes, they have one leg here and one leg at the other side of the opposition. Because the desire of the opposition is to ensure that we don't feel a candidate. How does it benefit you that contested election and you are praying that the party shouldn't have a candidate? How do you become a beneficiary except the opposition party will be the one to reap from this tragedy? Because if your party does not end up having a candidate, you are not going to be the beneficiary. So that's what I mean by they are being sponsored by the opposition. Once you lose an election, you say, if it is not me, let it all be,
Is that a fact or you're alleging that that's what you think is happening?
We have empirical evidence to that assertion.
So this is certainly this is an uphill task for you because within the APC, it doesn't look like you have been very much welcome. And then, the PDP, of course, will certainly be very upset that you have left at this critical juncture. So they certainly will do everything within their power to ensure that you don't win.
The APC welcomed me with warmest hands because
the APC at the national level or the APC
at the state, even at the state. Let me tell you the wild jubilation that followed the judgment in Yola in appeal court. You need to check out from the state. In all the 16 local governments, in fact, the people want a change. It's the few elites, those who contested with me, but that want to mess up the party at the state so that they can come and look for appointment at the center. That is what they're doing. But the ordinary man, the APC in Taraba State, want to form government.
So, by all means, I mean, what precisely now do you hope to do to unite? Because you certainly know that it's a grave danger if the House is not together as it goes into an election.
Very well. I know very much that. I told you that the last person you can convince to work with me is the governor of the state. And if he is the one that is the driving force behind one or two of these people that contested with me, it will be difficult to reach a consensus with them. However, I have not given up. Yes, I have not given up. While we exhaust, I follow up on whatever they do in court, I am still in the state of reaching out to them.
What does the governor of the state,
we work together.
What does the governor of the state have against you?
The governor of the state, he is threatened by my emergence. He knows that by the grace of God, if I'm on the ballot, I will win this election.
Yeah, but he's not running again.
He has a candidate. He wants his party. He wants somebody who will succeed him and cover his track. He wants somebody that can succeed him. Is normal. That is the tradition virtually in all the states. No governor will want to leave without being without having a successor in place. That is his desire.
What tracks are you talking about? I mean, because some people will say if you're members of the same party, they don't expect that you'll come into office and start probing the past administration.
Well, that is not, my desire is to restore dignity to governance in Taraba State, which had been lost. I don't want to delve into what the governor is doing, because it's for the people to judge, not me. Mine is to come and put smiles on the faces of the people of Taraba State. First, to address the challenge of infrastructure, the infrastructural decay that is in the state that had been there for long, to bring the state back to the map of Nigeria. The state should join the Committee of State, where in state is seen as truly a second tier, in the arm of government. From the center, you come to the state and the local government. But I see the state degenerating to a local government. The civil service, which is supposed to be a key partner in the development strategy, appears to have a very low morale. The morale is very low. Once salary is paid, everybody disappears. You don't see anybody in ministry, and this is heartbreaking, So these are areas that has concerned me greatly, to redefine governance and introduce, vitality into the process.
But Senator, is there division at the national body of the PDP?
Is that not an obvious question to say yes?
How? Where?
Well, in my state, those of us, I gave this reason in this studio when I defected. I know I had the program I had with Chamberlain. Not you. Our friend that anchors politics. Sheung. Okay. The program we had with Sheung, I narrated the basis and the reasons for my defection. First, when the congresses were being conducted, the governor gave strict instruction that I shouldn't be allowed to participate in the Congress. I was not allowed to be part of it, and all my supporters, we went to the level of trying to organize a parallel Congress, but we decided to stay away from the Congress. Seeing that we are being isolated, nobody would like to be part of a process that he was not part of from the beginning, because automatically you are isolated. And if that is not division, maybe I need to be schooled better in what is supposed to be division.
Well, I think the courts are doing their job, so maybe when that comes.
Exactly.
So have you flagged off your campaign as governorship candidate?
We will do as soon as possible. We've been, following up on the presidential campaign councils, campaigns across the state. We will do just that as soon as we get those issues sorted out. Because by law, all these pre-election matters are supposed to be sorted out before campaign commences.
Is it
before
true
the election?
Is it true that your main objective actually is to retain your seat as senator representing Taraba South, and that was why you asked Honorable Shidi to move from PDP to the APC, and that you're not actually interested in getting that governorship position?
That is a very laughable question, Chamberlain. How will I concede my seat to another person and go to pursue a position?
They don't want you. They say you don't plan to concede your seat as senator.
How? And somebody is already contesting it.
Yeah, you actually want to keep that seat, or you move.
To keep it for who? Shidi is a member of the House of Representatives. Shidi won election twice in Abga, even in the presence of a PDP government. The person the governor dressed most is the one I brought to succeed me, because Shidi is contesting against the governor. So you can see the double tragedy that is facing him. One, he cannot bring out a successor by the grace of God. He himself, by the grace of God, may not be able to win the election because the tide is against him. The people want a change. The people want to enjoy dividends of democracy. So when I supported CD to take over from me, I knew the candidate I was supporting, and I knew he was going to win against the big name in the PDP, maybe the governor, so to speak. So I wasn't bringing him to retain the seat for me. No, I was bringing him to serve in the Senate.
That you have met to support?
Sorry?
Is it the only person you supported or you're supporting?
For Senate?
Yes.
Of course, she be the only person. I'm in the APC. I have to support an APC candidate for Senate. So I have no any other candidate. I'm not, how can I support a PDP candidate for Senate? So I'm supporting a candidate that will win.
Did you have any meeting with AAC as a plan B in case you don't get
what
a
is
seat?
AAC?
That's a
political party.
Yeah.
No,
that didn't happen.
I am a Christian. I don't speak from both sides of my mouth.
What has Christianity got to do with having a plan B in case you don't get the ticket?
Well,
plan A or plan B?
It has to do because if you're a Christian, you must be a truthful person. If I'm focused on something, I don't go and be doing another thing. That becomes deceitful. Are you following? So I don't do that.
All right, so we'll see how that goes because there's still some hurdles to cross in the courts before.
By the grace of God, we will get there because I told my supporters, I told them that this journey will be filled with turbulence and you need to fasten your seatbelt.
What if you don't get the ticket? What happens?
The ticket is in my hand. I am the flag bearer of the party.
You're in court at the moment.
Yes.
If it doesn't go your way, well,
the God I serve told me that I will be the candidate and I will be the one to run this election. And by the grace of God, I'm going to win the election.
And if that doesn't happen?
God is not man that he will lie.
Okay. So you said it that God told you that you will win. I
know that I will win. But if you are pursuing something...
There are two different things now.
Don't you...
There are two different things.
How?
Did God tell you that you will win, or you know that you will win?
How would somebody go to contest an election with the mind of losing an election?
It's different from when you say, God told me that I will win.
God told me I will win.
God told you you will win?
Yes. Chamberlain.
Okay.
Take it to the bank.
All right. So if you don't win, it means that wasn't the voice of God. God
that I serve does not lie. And he is not the son of man that he will repent. He said a thing and it cometh to pass.
All right. So you heard it. It means that if you don't win, then we know that it's not the God or the son of man that told you. But you have said that it was he said. So we'll let it go at that
language.
Point. We'll let it go at that point since we can't argue with God on this matter. But
yes.
We thank you for coming on and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Chamberlain.
We will be back in just a moment. Stay with us.